Good morning. I'm making another video this week. This is in the business chats. It's about saying yes. I am a real yes person. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. People ask me for things and I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. Or it's about saying yes. And there's lots of different types of yeses. There's the, yeah, sure, let's do it. And then there's the, yeah, I guess. So and then there's a spectrum. So there's like, yes, and then, yeah, okay. There's lots of different types of yeses. And I think when you're in business, and in your professional life, saying yes you can lead you to places that you never imagined. I said yes. I went to a workshop once. And then a year later, I was training the content of that workshop, which has led me to professionally being a business trainer. I said yes to a couple of big yeses that I can think of. I said yes to someone in 2017 when they had really no money and could barely pay anything. And I'm like, yeah, I got nothing on that day. Sure, I'll come down and help. Next minute, I'm running a major program across the state. It's kind of like, not next minute, over the next 10 years. It's like things grow out of your yeses. And I know why people don't say yes immediately. I'm pretty much an immediate, I will say yes. There's a story around that too. I'm not very good at saying no. I'm terrible at saying no. But sometimes saying yeses pay off. But I do understand why people don't say yes immediately. They need to do self-care. They need to know the answers before and need to know the answers and what it's going to look like before they say yes. I'm terrible. I'm kind of like, oh yeah, I don't know what that means, but sure, sounds interesting, and off I go and do it. So I'm terrible. I don't find out all the information, and because sometimes people don't, when they ask you for help, they don't have all the information. They don't know what it's going to look like, but you say yes anyway. And one thing has led to another in my business world, in my kind of career. And I'm looking for new things now. I'm kind of looking for what's the next stage of my career. I've done the stuff that I'm doing now, I've been doing for at least a decade. And I'm kind of ready for something else. So I don't know what that's going to be, but I'm going to say yes to someone that's going to lead to something. But I do understand why people don't say yes. The other thing that in relation to yes is, people, and I totally agree with it, you shouldn't be expected to work for free. But I have worked for free. I've worked for free a lot. I've worked for free, and it's not necessarily because I've come from a place of privilege. I've worked for free when I've had less than no money in the bank, when I've had no money in the bank, when I've had a little bit of money in the bank. I have worked and done things because I could do stuff. Like I can type, and I can generally have had a computer, and I can work my way around the machinery of it all, which is useful. I have kind of a semi-useful skill. I wish I was a nurse or something. I feel like that's a more meaningful skill than being able to pull together a document or something. But, it's not always been from a place of privilege. But I just think saying yes in business and in your professional life is so valuable. And if you're not someone who can say yes, have a look at that. And then if you see people who have opportunities, how do they get theirs? Well, they probably said yes to something, or they, not saying that privilege isn't an issue. Like some people are more privileged than others. They can say yes but I do have a place of privilege. I have a stable home, that kind of stuff. Like that's privileged. That's definitely privilege. But yes, if you could say yes, have a think about what that might mean for your career and the opportunities for your business. The flip side of that, not saying yes, of I'm very good at saying yes. I'm terrible at asking people for help. So I'm not good at that. I wish I was better at that. I think my opportunities would have been very different if I was good at that. I'm not great at that at all. I'm more of I have no idea what I'm doing, but I don't ask people for help. No one has to say yes to me because I don't ask them a question. So that's another video. I think that's another story. But yeah, in business. And sometimes, yeah, so two things. Saying yes. Have a look at yourself saying yes. Have a look at where people have asked you for things and you're like, oh, and oftentimes I'll say yes when I really don't want to do it. Like, you know, people ask you to be on a panel or do a presentation, and I'm like, oh God, I don't want to do that. Why don't you want to do that? Because I'm not good enough. Well, maybe you should do that. And then I say yes. So I do that little conversation. So saying yes is really important, and also having a look at what you can do when people don't have any money. Doing some stuff for free can lead to real jobs at some point in the future. So yes, saying yes. Yes. Oh, yes. There's lots of different yeses.